You know, I was chatting with my neighbor Martha last week. She's 72, sharp as a tack, still tends her garden every morning, but she said something that stuck with me. Some days, I feel like my body's playing tricks on me, like I'm one misstep away from needing help with things I've done my whole life. Sound familiar? That worry, that slow creep of dependence, is something so many of us feel as we get a little older. But here's the thing. Losing your independence isn't inevitable. In fact, a lot of it comes down to avoiding a few common mistakes. Today, let's talk about 4 of those mistakes, the ones that sneak up on us, often without us even realizing it. And don't worry, this isn't about fear-mongering or listing off doom and gloom scenarios. This is about empowerment, because knowledge is power. And with a few adjustments, you can keep living life on your terms for years to come. Now let's start with the first mistake, one I've seen trip up even the most active folks in their 60s and 70s, and that's neglecting the power of small daily movements. We've all heard the phrase, use it or lose it, right? But here's the truth. It's not about running marathons or lifting heavy weights. It's about the little things, like getting up from your chair without using your arms for support, or taking the stairs instead of the elevator, or even just standing on one leg while you brush your teeth. A friend of mine, Carl, he's 78 and still plays piano at his church every Sunday, told me he started doing balance breaks while waiting for his coffee to brew. Just shifting his weight from one foot to the other, holding on to the counter if he needs to. He says it's made getting in and out of his car feel like a breeze. The point is, mobility is a habit. Skip those tiny movements day after day, and suddenly, getting around becomes harder. But keep nurturing them, and you'll stay steadier, stronger, and more confident. Now, the second mistake is one I'll bet none of us see coming, overlooking the quiet toll of isolation. We've earned the right to enjoy our peace and quiet, haven't we? But here's the catch. Humans thrive on connection. Even if you're someone who loves solitude like me, going days without a real conversation can chip away at your independence in ways you might not notice. Think about it. When was the last time you shared a worry with a friend, or asked for advice, or just laughed until your sides hurt? My cousin Evelyn, a fiercely independent woman, told me she'd stopped going to her book club after her husband passed. Didn't see the point, she said. But over time, she realized she was making more mistakes with her medications, forgetting appointments, not because her mind was slipping, but because she'd lost that regular check-in with others. We're social creatures. Having someone to say, "Hey, you seem tired, everything okay?" Or, "Let me walk with you to the mailbox." That's not dependence, that's a safety net. And it keeps you sharper too. Now, before we go further, let me be clear. None of this is about blaming yourself. It's about awareness. Because once you see these patterns, you can gently steer around them. And that's exactly what we'll keep doing in the next part of our conversation. We'll talk about 2 more mistakes, including the surprising one that starts in your kitchen cupboard, and simple, practical ways to stay ahead of them. But for now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you noticed how small movements or social moments affect your day? Drop a comment below. I read every single one. And if this resonated with you, share it with a friend. After all, looking out for each other is what keeps us thriving. Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you. It's lurking right in your kitchen cupboard. No, it's not that expired can of soup tucked behind the beans. It's the vitamins, supplements, or medications we take without a second thought. And trust me, this one hits close to home. A few months back, my brother-in-law, Frank, a spry 70-year-old who still fixes his own roof, ended up in the hospital. Turns out, he'd been taking a daily aspirin for his heart, plus an anti-inflammatory for his knee, and a supplement his neighbor swore by. None of his doctors knew about the combo. Within weeks, his stomach was in knots. Now, Frank's no fool. He just didn't realize how easily those harmless pills could add up. Here's the thing. As we age, our bodies process medications differently. That allergy pill you've taken for decades? It might make you drowsier now. Those herbal supplements? They could clash with your prescriptions. And when we mix them up or skip doses to simplify things, it's like playing Jenga with our health. One wrong move and everything wobbles. But here's the good news. Staying on top of this isn't about memorizing medical journals. It's about tiny habits, like keeping a list of everything you take, yes, even the gummy vitamins, and showing it to your doctor or pharmacist once a year, or using a pill organizer so you never double dose. My friend Helen color codes hers, mornings in blue, evenings in red. She says it's like a game, and she hasn't missed a dose in 2 years. And if you're ever tempted to stop a medication because you feel fine, have that chat with your doctor first. Independence isn't just about doing what you want. It's about making choices that keep you able to do what you want. Now let's step into another area that's just as crucial but often overlooked: your home. Think about it. This is where you've built a lifetime of memories, but it's also where most falls happen after 65. And that is the fourth mistake: not giving your home the same tune-up you'd give a beloved old car. My neighbor Ida, a former dance instructor with more energy than I've ever had, took a tumble last winter. She'd been meaning to replace that frayed rug in her hallway for months. I've walked past it 1,000 times, she told me. Never crossed my mind it'd send me flying. After 2 weeks in rehab, she came home and made changes. Brighter bulbs in the lamps, a grab bar in the shower, even moving her coffee maker to avoid reaching overhead. My house finally feels like a teammate, she said. You don't need a full renovation. Start with the big three: lighting, clutter, and grip. Swap out dim bulbs for daylight bright LEDs. They're kinder on older eyes. Keep pathways clear. No more, I'll just step over that stack of books. And add a few strategic grab bars. They're not just for showers. A sturdy rail here, a textured mat there. Small fixes that keep you moving safely. You don't need a full renovation. Start with the big three: lighting, clutter, and grip. Swap out dim bulbs for daylight bright LEDs. They're kinder on older eyes. Keep pathways clear. No more, I'll just step over that stack of books. And add a few strategic grab bars. They're not just for showers. A sturdy rail here, a textured mat there. Small fixes that keep you moving safely. And here's a bonus tip. Pretend you're house sitting for your future self. Walk through each room and ask, what would make this easier in 5 years? Maybe it's a raised garden bed so you don't have to bend, or a phone charger within arm's reach of your favorite chair. My husband swapped our round doorknobs for lever handles. Now he brags that even our grandkids can't outpace him. Look, none of us want to admit that our homes or our habits might need adjusting. It feels like surrender. But really, it's the opposite. Every time you tweak your space or routine to work with your body, not against it, that's a victory. That's independence shouting, "I'm still in charge." I'd love to hear how you've made your home or health routines work smarter. Share your tips in the comments. We're all in this together, learning as we go. And if today's ideas sparked a little aha moment, pass this video along. After all, the more we know, the more we thrive. You know, as I've gotten older, I've come to realize something. Independence isn't about doing everything yourself. It's about knowing what truly matters, the choices that keep you vibrant, engaged, and in control of your life. And that's exactly what we've been talking about these last few days. We've walked through 4 common mistakes that can quietly chip away at your independence. But more importantly, we've seen how small, intentional changes can protect it. Let's take a moment to weave it all together. First, we talked about movement, how those tiny, everyday actions like balancing while you brush your teeth or taking the stairs add up to big strength over time. Then, we looked at connection, how staying socially engaged isn't just good for the soul. It's a lifeline for your mind and body. And who could forget Frank's story? That man taught us all a lesson about medications, how something as simple as a yearly pill box check-in with your pharmacist can keep you out of harm's way. Finally, we stepped into our homes and saw how a few tweaks, better lighting, fewer tripping hazards, can turn a familiar space into a safe haven. Now, if I could leave you with one thought, it's this. Independence is a practice. It's not a trophy you earn once and dust off occasionally. It's showing up for yourself every day in small, loving ways. Think of it like tending a garden. You don't plant seeds once and walk away. You water them, pull the weeds, adjust when the weather changes, and bit by bit, you get to enjoy the harvest. Maybe today you'll call a friend you've been meaning to reconnect with. Or maybe you'll finally swap out that wobbly lamp in the hallway. Or perhaps you'll do what I did last week. Stand on one leg in the grocery store aisle while deciding between oatmeal brands. Laughs. The cashier gave me a look, but hey, balance practice waits for no one. And if you slip up, if you skip a walk, or forget to check a medication label, that's okay. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Every choice you make to honor your strength, your health, your joy, it matters. It accumulates. I want you to imagine something. Picture yourself 5 years from now, 10, 20. What do you see? However you fill in those details, I hope you see someone who's still writing their story. Someone who knows their worth, their capability, their power, no matter what life brings. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one thing from our conversation that resonated most. Just one. Try it this week. Then come back and tell us how it went. Did balancing on one leg make grocery shopping more fun? Did a coffee date with an old friend lift your spirits? Your stories inspire all of us because we're in this together. And if you found value here, do me a favor, share this video with someone you care about. Hit that like button so we know to keep creating content that serves you. And if you haven't yet, subscribe. We've got so much more to explore. Recipes for energy, tips for better sleep, even ways to rediscover old hobbies with new ease. Thank you for spending this time with me. Remember, aging isn't about slowing down. It's about opening up to new habits, deeper connections, and the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you're doing right by yourself. Now go out there and live your version of independence. I'll be cheering you on every step of the way.